I got a tip from one of you sister friends who sent me an email that said, hey, take a look at this podcast. They're talking about KODY. And sure enough, on a podcast by Gia Guidice, or Giudice, depending on which season of Real Housewives of New Jersey you're watching, is talking with Ravi. She's interviewing him on her podcast. Now, they were talking about what great shape the athletes were in. Specifically, she was talking about that first challenge, how difficult it was carrying all that stuff up the mountain. Now, do you remember when we looked at it? KODY was like a little jackrabbit. He was like running up and down. He took Mark Estes, big, cut, fit, tall Mark Estes. He took his pack at one point from him going up the hill, said, I got it. And Mark was barely able to walk at this point. KODY grabs it and he runs with it up the hill. Okay. Now, listen, I'm not going to age shame anybody. And I will admit that there are people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and above who are real athletes. KODY Brand in his keg belly, I question it. That's all I gotta say is I question it. Here's a quick snapshot of the photo that I took of them in line. I noticed on a still shot, KODY is the only one with a beer gut. Everybody else is fit and cut and in shape. Brittany had quit the show at this point. She's the only person who was truly out of shape on the show. Other than that, this is what they were talking about on the podcast. Everybody was in great shape. And then Ravi says this.
Was Andrew on our side that day? No. Or was he?
I don't think he was. I don't think.
No, I don't think so. I think Jesse and Eric were.
I remember KODY. I remember KODY was, and that was the first time I thought he must be on amphetamines because
allegedly
he was racing up and down that hill, and I'm like, this is not. I was like, I'm in really good shape, and I'm almost positive I'm crushing it right now. And he was like zipping by me almost like a cartoon. And I was like, something's wrong. This guy just did meth. That's the only way this could be possibly happening. Like flying by professional athletes. Did you see him on that mountain?
Yeah.
It was unlike anything I've ever seen. And he was like that throughout the competition.
Hyped up. We know KODY Brown. They don't know KODY Brown. I'll show you that clip where Ravi and Gia both say, I had no idea who this guy was. Which is going to hurt his ego a little bit when he sees that. Because KODY thinks everybody knows who he is.
When we were on Special Forces, it wasn't like that. I think we all kind of saw the light. I didn't know who KODY was before going on this show.
But they don't know him from Adam. You and I, 14, 15 years, we've been watching the show. We know KODY like the back of our hands. This is a man who is high energy, granted. Always been high energy, but he creates his chaos. That's what we would see on the show. We didn't see high energy. Whoa, he's cut, he's fit, he's in shape. Look at him go. No, we'd see him sweating a lot and struggling on things, but running around like a chicken with his head cut off. So that's the kind of energy we equate with KODY Brown. I got to go where? I got to do what? Wait, so much to do. All right, the tire's flat. Gosh, I gotta get my kids breakfast. Where? This is the microwave, right? How does it work again? We've seen all those scenes. But we've seen a special KODY in the last 2 to 4 years, I would say. In the past 2 to 4 years, he has gotten angrier and angrier and angrier. His face has gotten redder and redder and redder. He also is talking faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And yes, he has been getting in physical shape. He does his own workouts at the local gym where he does handstand walks. I mean, balance is important, so that's fine. But he's not really an athlete. We've seen athletes who've been out of the game for a while who didn't do well on the hill, aka Johnny Manziel. Now, I did hear on this podcast, Ravi said that first day he didn't eat and he wasn't drinking water either. So he created his own mess on day one. I think after that, he probably learned to eat his food, even if he didn't like it, and drink water. Now, I can't wait to hear the interview where they say KODY got to eat special food. If any of you know what podcast that's on, if you can send it to me or at least tell me who it is and where it is and how I can find it, I'd like to cover that as well. So now let's cut from these mostly professional athletes struggling in the day one challenge to KODY. And before that, let me just point out, Ravi did a little bit of training himself before the show. For the 2 months leading up to it, he hired a trainer, and here's him talking about it.
I mean, I knew about it like I think 2.5, 3 months.
Oh,
and then
wow.
I agreed to it 2 months prior, and then I got trainers the next day and
Right
started
away.
going hard.
So you didn't watch a season full through?
No, I didn't watch the season all the way through. Yeah, which was the dumbest part of the preparation, considering I did all this other stuff. And I went back to my hotel. This was the day before we left to go to the desert. And I found a Moroccan guy who didn't speak English. He's a boxing trainer.
No,
and I went to him, and I did like a half-hour, boxing training, which I'm so glad I did.
I mean, that's crazy that you found someone to do this with you.
Yeah, I did it like right away. It was crazy. But I'm glad I did it because I was like, okay, now I know what it feels like to wear these gloves.
Yeah.
To like swing.
Okay, so we know KODY was working out ahead of time. KODY's body, although in really good shape for KODY, does not reflect or represent a lot of the other athletes' bodies. And yet, somehow, KODY was zipping up and down.
Let's go.
Alpha, have sacks of grain.
How do you get up there?
You zigzag it. Little steps.
Like a high school cross-country athlete. I don't believe KODY ever ran cross-country. If he did, we would have heard about it. Nope, he just did wrestling. And we saw him wrestle his old buddy the other day on the show. And his buddy pretty much kicked his ass.
Just doesn't work. Then I went totally out of church and totally out of religion. I absolutely don't believe in religion at all.
You got
I'm
side
tired,
now?
Bill. I got nothing left. And I'm just resting.
He doesn't exactly have the stamina that he once did. And yet,
Mark, I can run it.
how is it possible he's running up and down the hill like a jackrabbit? Ravi comes right out and says what we've been suspecting for these past few years.
He was like zipping by me almost like a cartoon. And I was like, something's wrong. This guy just did meth. That's the only way this could be possibly happening.
He was very specific about what he's taking. I never said he was on meth. Although the really big eyes that KODY has a lot of the time
His teeth are yellow and rotten.
does match with it, but I think it also matches with teeth. Like, I mean, I don't know that he's necessarily on
Meth?
as much as he's on performance-enhancing drugs.
Allegedly.
Maybe testosterone, maybe human growth hormone. I don't know. But as we said before, we have seen in the past, now they hide it now, but in the past we've seen on the counter, although somebody mentioned recently they did see it, but I didn't notice it. On the counter, he used to have bottles of pills, like 30 bottles of pills on the kitchen counter. What are they all? This is all stuff that has happened since COVID. You don't say what Ravi said unless you have a sneaking suspicion that something was going on. Now, he starts to backtrack. I think he starts to realize, I don't know if I can be saying this. He's probably fearing litigation and being sued. So he's like, oh, he was like that all the time. He's just, wow, he's a great athlete. He's KODY Brown.
Like flying by professional athletes.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see him on that mountain?
Yeah.
It was unlike anything I've ever seen.
Listen, the state that he was in and how physically fit he was for his age was wildly impressive.
Okay, moving on. It doesn't stop there. So Ravi shares what he thinks about KODY.
I'm not kidding. I think he is the most interesting, fascinating guy in the cast.
Indeed. That was a nice way to put it, Ravi.
The way he, first of all, obviously comes from, the oddest background of anyone, I would say. But then he, the way he prepared and just the little thing, he's just got a lot of little, he's just, I don't know, he's an eccentric dude.
Eccentric. They're outside in the desert in Morocco. They're all trying to stay focused on these tasks and do something that is beyond more difficult than anything they've done before in their lives. Well, I don't know. Some of the athletes may have done stuff more difficult. And psychologically, some have been through more difficult situations. KODY's difficulty in life is balancing so many women. So let's not compare that to the couple people who were in prison. Or young Gia, whose mom and dad were both convicted to prison, and whose father subsequently was sent out of the country.
Deported?
Deported.
People have been through some things. All right, we have NFL players, we have NBA players, we have Olympic athletes. I would think Miss Soccer Player would have just rocked the course, and she did do well, but she wasn't running up and down it and taking everybody else's paths and putting them on their shoulders and running while they're just struggling to walk.
I therefore declare.
I smell something fishy. I think Ravi does too. He's trying to be politically correct. All right, so we go back to the fact that he says that KODY is eccentric. Gia, what do you think about KODY?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely comes from his background.
I love her answer. Wait for her answer. She knows she's going to say something negative, so she's trying to couch it with, I'm going to say something nice first.
For the most part on Special Forces, he was, he honestly seemed like he was very caring. He honestly looked out for most of us when he could.
Now there's a ringing endorsement.
There were certain points where I felt like, because I was partnered with him at some time.
Listeners, KODY is the guy who was in the something wives.
He was in Sister Wives.
Sister Wives.
Yeah. So I mean, I think he faces like a lot of controversy.
Okay, now hold that thought. For the most part, he was kind of caring. She's later on going to come back and explain what that caring means, and it's actually a negative. It's a dig. It's his annoying behavior that she's trying to be really kind right now and call caring. All right, let's go on. Just to clarify, there is a lot of controversy. It has nothing to do with the fact that he's a polygamist. Not at all. Don't care. You do you, boo. I think it's dumb. I think that the women should never agree to it. And I think it's a situation where you get your cake and you get to eat it too. But there's no controversy regarding that. The controversy regarding KODY, it has to do with his actions, his behavior, and his words. Okay, Gia, go on. My apologies.
And I just feel like...
Okay, how do I say this?
In some of the challenges, because he was so physically fit, and he really was probably one of the most physically fit out of all of us. And he was advanced. He could just speed through these challenges, and obviously there were some of us who were a little weaker and not as strong. So like, especially, the girls, as much as a lot of us powered through, we had our struggles.
Wait, let me guess what she's going to say. Because he was such a nice, kind, and caring guy, he would always make sure to not complete a challenge without going back and helping us all out first, because we're a team. Let's see what she says.
And at points, sometimes I realized that maybe he wasn't the best team player.
Ouch.
She is so kind. So I noticed that, us girls would struggle on certain things, and he would blow right by us. Of course he would. KODY doesn't care if it's a female. KODY doesn't care if it's somebody who needs help. He'll only help if he can still succeed and look like he's better than in the end. Thus, going to Mark Estes and taking his pack off of him and saying, I got it, dude. That is all for the cameras. KODY's not going to help out a woman with the way he thinks about women. I can't wait until this Thursday night's episode. All right, Gia, share with us. What else do you have to say?
But he tried.
Ouch.
He really tried.
Ouch.
Good boy, KODY. You're not the best team player, but he tried. Gia, you're just a kid. Come on. He's a 57-year-old man. He doesn't get a pass for trying to be a team player at this point. This is just like in Sister Wives. He's not a team player when it came to the whole family. That's why the whole family fell apart. He goes on Special Forces. He's still KODY Brown, not a team player. Now, Ravi has something to say about the same situation.
Yeah, it's going to that because, he was also the most controversial part of the cast. I think you could have figured that out within the first hour or two because he's so eccentric.
He was the most controversial on the cast. Translation, he was the most disliked. That's what that means. He's not talking about his life back at home because we have Jesse Smollett, okay? Jesse Smollett buries Kody Brown when it comes to controversy. Teresa Giudice flipping tables and going to jail when she's got 4 small girls at home. There's a lot of controversy around these people. Kody married 3 women. Not controversial. Ravi is saying Kody's the one that created the most controversy. Kody's the one that created the most chaos. Kody's the one that created the most disruption amongst the ranks. That's what he's saying.
Allegedly.
My experience with him was so different, I think, from many other people's. Maybe because I wasn't sleeping on the same side of the tent as him.
Okay, all right, we just gotta stop right there. My experience with him is different than many of other people, maybe because I really wasn't by him. I wasn't around him. He was on the other side of the tent. So, what is your experience, Ravi?
But like I found him to just be. I thought like his personality is like a earnest 12-year-old boy.
Boom. Yes. Mic drop, Ravi. How many times do we say he acts like he's a child? He acts like he's a middle school boy. What does Ravi say? His personality is like that of a 12-year-old boy. He doesn't leave it there. As nice as Ravi is, he continues to double down on the fact that Kody is immature.
Like a guy who's really excited to be there and is kind of always saying what he's thinking in his head out loud.
This man has got Kody pegged. Yes. That's not a compliment. He's like a 12-year-old boy, always just saying the stuff that's in his head. Inappropriate, Kody. It's amazing. They've got his number.
He's always giving everyone unsolicited tips on what needs to happen next.
He's trying to be in charge. He's telling everybody else what to do. Hey, this is what you should do. Here, you know how to help yourself out? You know how to do that better? Do this, do that, do this. We saw it in the first episode. Johnny Manziel, professional athlete. Here's what you need to do to catch your breath. Let me tell you, I'm Kody Brown. Deep breaths. Oh, that didn't work? Breathe like this. Opposite of deep breaths. Oh, that didn't work? Think about someone or something you love. Always giving unsolicited advice. Johnny Manziel, the whole time, just pulling his hat down, rolling his eyes. Get this guy out of the car.
Dude, I hope my total talking wasn't wrecking your calm. I was trying to help you calm down.
But I think he rubbed I know he rubbed at least a couple people the wrong way.
All right, so we know he rubbed people the wrong way. So it's not just one, because we do know before the show that Chicken Fry put on her Instagram, she was not fond of Kody Brown on this show. I was thinking that might be the only one because, they're kind of doing their own thing here. But no, there's multiple people who did not like Kody. So thanks for continuing the conversation, Ravi, and throwing it back to Gia. Were you tight with him?
Did you have beef with him or were you tight with him?
I didn't have actual beef with him, but I was in a challenge with him. Brie got a little annoyed because it was, again, kind of just showing those characteristics. He just wasn't being the best team player because he felt that he could go and excel during that challenge. And maybe we were kind of holding him back a little bit.
Kody Brown's all about Kody Brown. Now Gia goes on to do a little bit of pop psychology to analyze why he acts the way he does. And I think this is referring to his unsolicited advice that he gives people. I don't agree. Based on the 15 years of watching the show and the hundreds of hours, probably thousands of hours if I put in all the editing and all the times I've had to go back and find stuff and record clips that I have watched him on the show, I would say I'm not going to agree with her analysis here. And keep in mind, she did not know who he was before the show. So, but this is her interpretation of it based on the fact that she did find out he is on the outs with a lot of his kids. This is what Gia has to say.
I think in certain situations, he kind of misses having that father role. I think he struggles with that because I don't really know where his kids are, but I think he only lives with one of his kids. But he really, you could tell that he missed that father role, and he always looked for somebody to look after.
Control, be in charge of, boss around, but okay, we could say look after. He's only going to look after somebody who's got something to offer him. If there is a nobody on the team who nobody knows who it is or what they do, Chicken Fry, perfect example. He didn't get along with Chicken Fry. He's not going to know who she is. I don't know who she is. I think she's somebody on social media. I think she's just a content creator. I don't remember. I don't know who the girl is, but clearly Kody's not going to know her either because Kody's not interested in females. He is not going to go out of his way to befriend, support, and spend time with somebody who doesn't have something to offer back to him. So if he sees a camera around, he might do it because he'll do it for camera time. If he doesn't see a camera around, he's going to seek out one of the football players, especially the quarterbacks.
You know how I love quarterbacks.
Or anybody else who he thinks is cool. Okay, then you can tell that Gia edited. She started talking some more about Kody and it gets edited and it cuts to her saying, I think he did a really good job. She's so PC.
He did have really great things about him. And then I obviously think you saw his struggles, which just come from the way he grew up and how he was raised. And I think he did a good job.
I get it. She should be. She doesn't want to create any waves. And Gia has a big heart. Okay, but it's not over. It's not over. Ravi's going to come back and talk about Kody and his infantile behavior.
Like, I think it appears that he's trying to reinvent himself and grow up socially, emotionally in a way that I don't know that he's given the time before. So,
he was given plenty time, Ravi. He was given plenty time. He kicked 3 wives and 13 kids out of his life. He has no job and he just lives with Robin.
He's had lots of time.
And they take care of 2 children. And they have a nanny come over. And they have 2 20-year-olds that live in the house that can help out as well. 3 adults, 2 children that are like 9 and 13, not little ones. He's got nothing but time on his hands. So he had time to grow up. As opposed to growing up between 2020 and 2025, he literally regressed. We are seeing the deterioration of Kody and the honesty of him. Now, it does appear that this also coincides with his anger, outrages, red face, fast-talking, large bulging eyes.
Oh, I almost forgot.
His teeth are yellow and rotten.
Nevertheless, he's had time to grow up. But that's nice of you to say, Ravi.
I don't know. I obviously saw him through a rosier lens than everyone else, but I have that tendency, and my wife hates that about me.
You always see the good in people, and it's not a bad thing.
So after saying Kody's infantile, he acts like a 12-year-old boy. He's social and emotionally immature, and he's trying to work through that and figure out how to grow up. And that it appeared that he was on meth when he was doing the challenges because he was actually kind of superhuman in them, with a strength and stamina well beyond any of the professional athletes. After all that, he says, but I look at him through rose-colored glasses. That's so funny. I want to hear what people who don't look at him through rose-colored glasses think. That is the glass half full interpretation of Kody Brown. Oh, goodness. And maybe, just maybe, it will start to chip away at the delusional view that he has of himself as being an Adonis who men want to be and women want to be with. I love the fact that somebody who spent a lot of time 24/7 for, what was it, a week, 2 weeks, has the exact same opinion of this man. It's amazing. The 2 of them have co-signed everything we've been saying. I love it. Thank you, Gia, for interviewing Ravi. And thank you, Gia and Ravi, for speaking your truth. Now, Gia, you didn't quite speak your whole truth. I could tell from your little smile on your face you were holding back. But it's okay. It's your podcast. You're trying to just be nice. But she still said he's not a team player and he'd leave the women behind. That fits. All right, everybody. Keep your eyes out. I'm working on editing my review of Kody Brown in Special Forces episodes 1 and 2. I even put on my camo shirt just for you. Take care. God bless. Adios. I'll see you next time. Bye, friends.